on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
Yo, let's get it on live out of Miami International Airport and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Today is May 29th, 2025. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Sportscast on all our channels, YouTube, X, Spotify, iTunes. We are also streaming live on your favorite podcast streaming channel. Please leave a rating and a review. It'll help us out tremendously. And if you like what we got going on today, smash the YouTube, smash the like button, hit the notifications so you can hear more of our shows. We streaming on Facebook Live on Facebook and YouTube every Thursday at 8 p.m. Let's get the show going. Mr. Byron Jones, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Really, man? It's like that.
And we have a few guests here. I'm sorry, Byron?
Yes, the weather here is 71 degrees. I just left my bad little kids over with the flag football. They come run over here, walk fastly over here. I ain't running anywhere. So shout out to the East Lansdowne Patriots. We're 2-3. We're getting better. We need a defensive back coach, Victor, to come help these kids learn how to back up.
So you're not running anywhere. We're seeing a lot of your pictures from Tulsa on Facebook. You look like you're running pretty quick. Also, we'd like to welcome. Also, always a welcome to our show, our producer, Santiago Leon. Santiago, say hello to our fans out there. You're the producer of multiple shows.
Always going to be back to the Jersey Boys. We got a lot to talk about. NBA, Johnny Smith, the New York Giants, of course, trying to do some practice with other teams. But looking forward. It's going to be a good show. From the airport is the first time.
And we have Miss Pamela on the show. She's normally with the WCFL Dolfan podcast, where they have a whole group of Dolphin Raiders. Maybe not Raiders, but Dolphin fans. So I'm sorry, you got a little bit of the welcome to the show, Pam. You always welcome on our show. We got a lot to talk about. We always like to talk about the Dolphins, so you always welcome on our show. Just wanted different opinions. And we got Papa Paul comes on our show quite a bit as well. And so we want to get right into it. I got limited time, so Santiago's going to take over. I'm actually going to my niece's graduation in Virginia. Oh, Byron, she's going to SMU. Did you have a scholarship offer? Did you have a scholarship offer at SMU?
No, the other place, TCU.
Okay, I always relate you to one of the U's. TCU, Tulsa, all of those. The other thing is, I just want to say I want to give Byron a shout out because last week I hope you had a really good time because Byron is the Iron Man of this podcast. He has never, ever missed a show until last week. And technically, he didn't even miss a show because I had to cancel it because certain other issues I had to take care of from a business perspective. So technically, Byron's record is still continues. He's Iron Man for 6 years, Pam. He has never missed a show.
Congratulations.
So I got nothing but love and shout out to Mr. Byron and our producer Santiago for always stepping in or finding someone to help me out. So I want to say thank you very much. I'm still working for a living, baby. So I got to earn that keep. All right, let's get going on, Mr. Santiago. You want to take control? I love when Santiago's on the show because I get to be me and he gets to host.
Yeah, exactly. So let's start off with Miami Dolphins. I want to see some interaction with Pam and Vic here. Jonathan Smith is rumored, he's a tight end for the Dolphins, rumored to go to the Steelers. As Vic said, Miami needed more tight end action, but this is breaking news for Pam. What are your thoughts over this rumor?
Yeah. So I just pulled that up when you said that. I hadn't seen it until you said that just a few minutes ago. Don't do it. Don't do it, Miami. Of course, the way we handle tight ends and everything, what's the point? I mean, I've had many favorite tight ends, and what have we done with them? No. So unless McCrispy is going to do something with the tight end, you better do something with that trade, man. But I hope we don't. I like Jonnu. I think he's talented. Like it says, he's our only Pro Bowl player. Although I don't think that means what it used to mean back in the day. But yeah, I hope we don't do that. But who knows?
Well, that tells me two things. One, here I'm at Sam Adams in the airport E4, and I got a Steeler fan right next to me. So as you see me looking over, I'm grabbing. He didn't even know this was happening. He's wearing a TJ Watt shirt. So I'm trying to get him on the show. I'm trying to say, come on the show. He didn't even know what's going on. A couple things. With that said, with the Dolphins trading, but first of all, two things from my opinion, and I want to go around the corner. I'm just going to go quick because I got limited time. Pam, look, when I've been on your show, the number one thing that I always said, right, and I'm not shy, is that I'd like to see the tight ends more involved in that offense, because when it's running, when you guys were at its peak, right, was like the fastest offense, everything, you would score quick. I just didn't like that you never incorporated tight ends, because for the Giants, as Giant fans, we've always won by utilizing tight ends. Right. So now getting rid of a tight end, I mean, I don't know what's up with McDaniels. Just my point being is, why isn't he leveraging his tight ends? Number one. On the opposite side of that, and then I'd like to go around the horn, is that it looks like the Steelers they're teeing up the offense, man. They got DJ Metcalf. They're adding a tight end. They need another receiver because they got rid of the other crazy dude, right? What are your thoughts on both sides, Byron? They're all crazy. Every receiver that goes to Pittsburgh is crazy.
Yeah, I know, but still, why would okay? You get rid of Pickens, so you just picked up DK Metcalf, with the Steelers. So they're kind of like in a mess. They still don't have a quarterback. They're waiting for Aaron Rodgers. They're waiting for Aaron Rodgers. They're waiting for Aaron Rodgers and waiting. And it's crazy, that I never thought the Steelers would do something like that, where they're going to sit there. He's basically hostage to the team, for his own, interests or whatever. And then the Miami Dolphins, the two receivers, that they have, Tyreek Hill and Waddle, they got receivers, and I guess that's what McDaniels wanted to focus on, getting these guys the ball, down deep.
Hey guys, I want Luis. Okay, he's got to play in the Cats. I want to introduce Luis. He's wearing a Pittsburgh shirt. He's got a Watt shirt on, and we were breaking news on Jersey Boy Sports Talk that the tight end Jonnu from the Dolphins getting traded to the Steelers. So, Luis,
rumor.
Enjoy your trip.
It's not happening.
He's asking who the quarterback. Great question. Yeah. Jersey Boy Sports Talk. Jersey Boy Sports Talk on YouTube. Listen to us live. Subscribe. Boom, and come on anytime you want. Okay. God bless, man. Safe trip. Where you flying to? All right. Bye. Dale, go.
And the quarterback could be Kirk Cousins.
Let me tell you what.
I take Kirk Cousins. For who?
I would take Cousins over Rodgers. I mean, seriously, talk about a poison. Rodgers is a poison.
Yeah, but wait, time out. You didn't address my question. You're right. They don't have a quarterback. And then now I'm going to go to you, Santiago, since Byron didn't address the question.
Whoa.
You didn't address the question. The Steelers are teeing up their offense. They normally tee up their defense by adding. Look, Pam just said that guy's a possible Pro Bowl player. Yes or no? Did I misunderstand that?
So he is a Pro Bowl player.
Yeah, okay,
he is Pro Bowl.
They're taking DJ Metcalf. They're adding a Pro Bowl tight end, which everybody needs when you have a lousy line, right? Get it to the tight end quick. They're teeing it up for somebody. That's all I'm saying. That was my question. My question is, it looks like they're teeing it up for somebody to come. Whether it's Aaron Rodgers or not, they're realizing that defense alone no longer wins without putting up points. Right? At the end of the day, you got to put up points.
Yep.
Yeah, but the tight end that the Steelers have, right? Fairmuth, I think that's the guy's name.
Correct.
He's pretty good. The one that they have right now. It's not like he's a slug. This guy.
But is
He's
he
a good
better than
receiver.
this guy
So,
that
good
they're
tight
trading
end.
for?
Probably about even, about the same.
Oh man,
think
there's a
you're-
big
Yeah,
difference between a Pro Bowler and a non-Pro Bowler, bro.
Yeah.
All right, Santiago, what do you think about the Steelers hemming up what they're doing?
Yeah, so I mean, like the Steelers, what they do every year, they're trying to tee up, make the playoffs. I think they should go more on the tanking side. I know you guys don't agree with tanking, but they need to get a quarterback, and they need to have a good draft pick, be in the top 10 to get a good quarterback. I think getting Russell Wilson or getting Kirk Cousins won't help that. I think they should stick with Mason Rudolph. Don't get Johnny Smith, and just try to tank pretty much. But
Okay, time out. Let's clarify for Miss Pam, since Miss Pam hasn't been on our show a lot. It's not that we don't agree with tanking, right? Well, first of all, we don't agree with tanking, but it's not the issue of we don't agree with it. We just don't believe that 53 players on the same page are willing to give up shit, right, to get a number one pick when from number 30 down to 53 are fighting for a contract. Those brothers are going to. That's when you're going to see brother. That's why you get surprised, like Tracy from the Giants, the running back who got a shot. He lit it up. I mean, you got guys that come in that you're 6th-round pick like Brady. Yeah, I mean, exactly. All I'm saying to you is that I truly believe the Giants were tanking because that's the worst time I've ever seen because that was an organizational piece. So I just want to quit with that.
The Giants just suck, man. They just suck, man. There wasn't no tanking. They just bad football team.
They were tanking. They were tanking.
There is no way as an athlete, if you're a competitive person, listen, I'm a competitive grandmother. I will knock you out to get the sale price of that dress over there or whatever it is, tiddlywinks or whatever we're doing. I will knock you out. I'm a competitive person, and you're not going to tell me that a professional athlete is not going to. I'm going to sit down and have a taco now. I don't think so. Professional athletes are professional athletes. The tanking theory, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't think
don't
it's
say no.
going to
Just say it's a PG show on our show, but you can say it's BS without saying the word is BS.
Yeah, I don't need to. I don't need the other words. Yeah, it's crap.
At 8:15, get what Pam said because our whole point is to get 53 players on the same page to do that. When
And a coach.
at least no, but the coach is one thing, but 20 players on that squad are fighting. They may not even be there the following year. The average life of an NFL player is 3 years. So if the guy is on his 3rd year, he's trying to play for another team. The guy's on his 2nd year, he's trying to play for another team. It's just really, really hard. Now, the Giants, when they started Danny DeVito over their guy that they're paying $5 or $6 million,
Tommy DeVito,
Tommy DeVito, to me, that's an organization.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cullins. He's number 4. He's paid $1 million in Jersey. That's pretty good. Anyways, I'm just saying that it looks like the Steelers are teeing up more offensively than they've ever had before because they're normally defense. Tomlin's going to do defense anyhow, but that was an issue. I agree that Dolphins trading a tight end is terrible. And if you think he's a Pro Bowl player, that's even worse. What bothers me is that your coach is not involving the tight ends in the scheme of the game.
1,000%. And the problem is just look at it mathematically, right? So you've got this great wide receiver, that great wide receiver, you got a running back, and just the math tells you 2 + 2 still equals 4. Let's realize that if you're gonna, do anything, you got to at least pretend like you're going to use the tight end. Don't just totally get rid of the tight end position. I've been furious about what we have not done with the tight end position and the tight end talent that we've had. I don't understand it. Jonnu Smith is a Pro Bowl guy, and I hope we don't. But if we're not going to do anything with him, go at least get somebody that we're going to use. You know, they didn't call me and ask me my opinion, but I will call them and tell.
It doesn't matter. That this whole show is about opinions, right?
Don't matter.
The argument. The art of sport is debate. All right, Santiago, what do you got next?
Next, Tyreek Hill said today he could lose his Dolphins captaincy after what happened at the end of last season, where he kind of hinted he didn't want to come back to the Dolphins, but now he's back. He lost 15 pounds, I think. So
15 pounds from what?
I don't know.
What is he like 110
152 to 137? I don't know. That was quick math in my head. I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. When I saw that guy before, he was ripped, fast, right? And he was athletic. And you said he lost how many pounds?
15.
15 pounds. What do you think a D-back like me is going to say? I'm going to light him up. He's got 15 pounds less muscle. Because he had very large, small body fat. Of course you got to catch him. There's no doubt. But I'm going to watch enough film to see when he crosses. I'm going to take him out. 50 pounds. That guy didn't have – where did he lose 50 pounds? In his head? His hair? Where? He was ripped.
Yep.
He was ripped already. 15 pounds is a lot of weight. Time out, Byron. Answer this question. You're a big defensive end, okay? 15 pounds for a special, like a receiver, that's a lot of weight when you're already light.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And you have to lose muscle. You can't just lose, like, he has barely any body fat.
Yeah, how much does he weigh now? Well, before.
How much does he weigh now?
He went to like 180 or 178, something like that. Like
that's still a good size for a guy.
He's still, he's only 5'10".
5'6".
Well, they say 5'10", but you know that really means he's 5'9".
That means 5'8".
Yeah, right. Yeah.
5'8", 185 is stocky. Okay, so he was over 200.
Yeah, I think it was right around 200 or maybe a little less.
Let me tell you, a guy that fast at that height at 200, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
All right. So Tyreek Hill's a problem. Don't you agree, Pam? Are you happy that you got him, or you're not happy as a Dolphin?
So it depends on what 5 minutes you're looking at. Because
no, it doesn't work that way.
Well,
you don't get 5 minutes of a guy. It's a season. Are you happy that you picked him up?
The 5 minutes that he's in as a Dolphin, yes. The 5 minutes that he's out as a Dolphin and then he changes his mind again. You know, what he is saying right now is that he's going to prove himself to the Dolphins. You know, I think as a grown man, you know, you need to prove yourself every day. If you're going to call yourself a man, you need to be out there and do your job. You're getting paid an incredible amount of money. And there are people depending on you, whether it's your family, whether it's your teammates, whether it's the fans that are supporting you, buying your jersey. You need to do your job. And if you're not doing your job, you're pathetic. And I'm willing to call him out.
So I'm gonna get into something real quick. Number one,
okay.
I think that I think he's a disaster. Okay,
yep.
I think he's a great. Byron, you got to step up in here. I think he's a disaster. Number one. Number two, I think that he was great for the Dolphins like that 1 year. I think he's jealous of what Kansas City's doing without him. Right. I think he's becoming a poison to that team that just 2 years ago, you guys were contenders.
Yep.
It's just sad. It bothers me so much. You know, you get 1 full year of Tua and you get 4 other starters hurt. Tua's hurt.
Yep.
You got all your starters working. It drives me nuts. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys are a great show, but to
Yeah.
me, Tariq is he's just a problem. You know. Hey, listen, I got a few minutes left. I got yelled at in New Jersey while I was there. I was there for a good friend of mine. Shout out to Lisa V. Happy birthday, Lisa V. Happy 60th birthday. I was out there, and then I got yelled at because we weren't talking enough Giants. So
Oh,
we wanted to give Pam some time because you came on and I was here for a short. So I'm going to give you some time, and then we can go back. Don't get me wrong, but I got like 7 minutes before I have to board. And he goes, "You guys don't talk about Giants." And you know what I said, Byron? What is there to talk about the Giants? They're terrible. other than firing Dable, other than firing Shane, what do you want me to like? What do we want to talk about? We'll get there, but like, there's not much to talk about. It's depressing. Like, we'll talk about them. We'll give them a little headlines and this and that. We'll go from there. But anyhow, they're saying we're not talking. And Byron, you've gotten that before. You've gotten texts before that we're not right. We're not talking enough about the Giants. But you know, when I got Byron's name changing every time, what is it? Loyal Giants fan for now. Look at for now.
wow.
Then he goes 1972, terrible. Then he goes Mr. Byron's got a different name every week.
Every week.
Every week. So you know, look, Pam, we've been on shows before, and Santiago will tell you that they're in shock that both Byron and I would pick against the Giants. We're very direct and objective, right? Like, if we don't believe it, we'll go. The only time I was full Giants in is when the NFC East was so bad. I had no choice. Well, they're going to win the conference. Why? Because everybody else was bad. Now, they're not bad. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to talk about that. So, Giant, I'm hearing good. Go to the banner for me, Santiago.
Yeah.
Go to E41 like they do on Get Up and First Take.
So do you think Dayball is your problem? Is that what you think? Dayball is your problem?
I think Shane's the problem, and I think the ownership is the problem. That's
The
my
GM.
point.
Your GM and your owner. Okay.
Yeah,
I
GM
think
is
the
Joe Shane.
ownership, not just the owner.
Okay.
The owner's a meddler, and a secret kind of way.
Okay.
I think Shane, or whatever his name is in over
Shane.
his head. Yeah, Shane. He's in over his head, because he brought that Buffalo Bills mentality. That's where he came from. So he's trying to bring that, because when you look at a roster, there's a whole bunch of guys that play for the Buffalo Bills that he keeps bringing in. Devin Singletary, they brought in a linebacker, they brought in a corner, and a lot of these, and they're just not working out. And then for him, people didn't sit there and think about that. Thibodeau is right on the fence as far they did pick up his 5th-year option. They picked that up. But
The new LT. Let me know when I gotta go.
No such thing.
The other guy, Evan Neal, is borderline bust. They moved him. This OTAs. They moved him to guard.
Byron, stop. I love you. Where's the problem? The coach, GM, or ownership? Forget about the players.
It's everything.
Just give me
all of the above.
Oh yes.
Pam asked a specific question. Answer it. I got 2 minutes. I got 4 minutes.
Here, the ownership, the GM here, and the players that we picked. How about that? That covers everything.
But time out. The players we picked comes from the GM.
Yes,
right.
It's more GM.
So at the end of the day, you can't blame the players.
Yeah, but
I never blame the players.
Evan Neal was a number 7 pick in the first round. 7.
Right. And he was a bust.
7
and he was a bust.
This guy's been awful since he's been there.
Right. So that's the ownership because Shane wasn't there.
OTAs right now.
So that's ownership. That's ownership. So let's go there. Give me your next one. Daniel Jones.
Ownership.
That's the ownership. Damn. Let's keep going.
Whoa. No. Shane picked Evan Neal and Thibodeau. That's on him.
Oh, he did. Oh, then it's GM.
Yeah, he picked him.
Pam, we really thought that when Saquon Barkley, If Saquon Barkley had a big year, much less coming to MetLife Stadium and lighting it up, we thought for sure those guys would be fired. Not only did he light it up, he had 175 yards by the third quarter, and he said, hey, let the other guys play. Gregorio, we lack culture at New York Giants. Yes, that is true. There's no definitive culture. What was the culture, Greg, at the Giants? It was defense. Yes, Byron?
No, yeah, it was defense.
The culture at the Giants was always about defense, right?
Yeah, but
we'll put up the points. Don't let them score. They'll kick far right.
They always had that guy on defense, Lawrence Taylor, on defense.
Right.
You can never get past that, right?
Time out. I love LT, greatest player in the world. But that entire crew, Harry Carson, what was the other guy with the face that had a lot of stuff on his face? Yeah, he was the dude. That was their whole linebacker. They were just bad. They were awesome. That whole linebacker crew was all. Harry Carson was a beast, bro. Now LT was definitely the anchor of that, but look at it. What were the Giants? Look at that team. It was strung by defense, and then show me the Super Bowls. Look at Bavaro. Let's name the tight ends that were successful in the Giants. Right?
Ooh. Well, wait. I can name tight ends successful for the Giants.
Go ahead.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Go ahead.
So I'm trying to think because my brain is old. So what's his name? The blonde kid. The blonde kid.
Shockey, yeah. But we didn't win a championship with him.
Yeah, you did.
I know, but he was a great tight end, and he
was. Yep. And we had him. But when we won the tight ends, we had Bavaro. Who else did we have? Byron.
Yeah, but what's his name won one with us? Shockey won with us, and he won one when he went to the Saints. He won two.
Yeah.
Shockey.
Time report.
I mean, he was a Miami kid, so yeah.
All right. So So look again, Pam. Again with the tight end, I just like to see your team add more to the tight end series. From the Giants, let's see what we got. We got like 16 quarterbacks, 15 receivers. I don't think we have any other players on our team. Let's see what we got there. And MetLife Stadium is probably the worst stadium to play on because everybody gets hurt.
So what do you attribute that to, though?
It's the way they built the turf. Byron will get into that a little bit. All right, I got to sign off. Pam, thank you for joining our show. When we end the show, we're going to find out how we can get a hold of you. I'm live out of Sam Adams in Miami Airport. We had I got a Texas A&M Aggie fan down the road. Oh, what's up? I got a Pittsburgh fan around me, and I'm about to go to my niece who is graduating. He's going to SMU, Byron. So, hey, God bless Santiago. Thanks for kicking in on here.
What's the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach me is here on Jersey Boy Sports Talk every Thursday. Come and join our show. You want to talk? Let's bring it on.
Will the Knicks force a game 6?
No. They're going to lose tonight. And that's to my buddy Richie Vargas and Zamara Trujillo, who she doesn't even like pro basketball, and she's like yelling at me because I'm not voting for the Knicks. Hey, it is what it is. God bless.
OKC the real deal.
Exact. OKC's the real deal, man. And finally, there's going to be an MVP that wins the championship. All right, take care, guys. God bless. Thanks, Santiago, for taking over. Byron, as always, love you and the family. Pam, love to see you. Please join our show another time so I can get the full hour with you.
I would love to.
Peace.
All right, guys.
The guy behind me say, come here. What's your name? Brandon. This is Brandon. You're an Aggie fan?
Aggie fan. Yeah.
Do it.
Go Gators.
Aggie fan from San Antonio, Texas. Where you headed to?
That quarterback from the Browns played.
He's been in Key West all week, and he's got something in his hand. I don't want to show you what's in his hand.
Nice.
Right.
It's a Sam Adams.
Bye. I'm at Sam Adams, so it is what it is. Hey, God bless. Peace.
Awesome.
How do I get out? Just remove me.
Just hit leave studio.
I'm gonna hit
lower right. All right. Anyways, let's take a word from our sponsor.
Are you ready to accelerate your wealth and secure your family's legacy? Introducing VictorArocho.com, your cash acceleration insurance expert. At VictorArocho.com, we bring accountability to wealth creation inspired by Proverbs 13:22. Your family's financial future matters to us. Experience the power of debt-free life, our innovative insurance solution that not only protects but builds cash value over time. As your cash value grows, say goodbye to debt incrementally and watch your savings soar for a worry-free retirement, all without spending any extra money. With debt-free life, you're not just securing your future, you are creating a lasting legacy for your family, achieving financial freedom and retiring with tax-favored income. Visit VictorArocho.com for more information. That's VictorArocho.com, where accountability meets prosperity. Your greatest asset is you.
Byron, have you visited VictorArocho.com?
No.
Okay. Well, we continue. So, Pan, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you became a Miami Dolphin supporter.
So I'm a Florida girl, born and raised, sixth generation Floridian. You know, it's just what I grew up with. I'm a Florida Gator all the way. That was my heritage, as well as Miami Dolphins. And like I was telling you before, I'm old enough to have been there from the beginning. So, you know, that's just in my blood. And I'll always be a Miami Dolphin fan. And, you know, I've been a sad Miami Dolphin fan, especially the past year. I've always worn my aqua and orange glasses, always. Next year it'll be better. Well, last year I was already like, I'm not happy. So I'm not real happy this year either. I need to see some changes from our organization. They need to do better. They need to do better by the fans. You go to other sports venues for other teams, and they do so much more for their fans than our organization does. And they need to do better.
Yeah, I do agree. Like our and the base is kind of everywhere in a way. I remember that I went to one of Papa Paul's a little get-togethers at a restaurant nearby here in Fort Lauderdale. It was great. It was people from everywhere. I saw people from like Los Angeles coming down, from New Jersey. They're all like Miami fans.
Yes.
And
we are worldwide as a fan group. 1,000%. Our fans are amazing. It is one of the reasons that, you know, you can still stay so positive. There's a, you know, NorCal Dolphin. He lives in Northern California. He has season tickets and he has a fan group, and I'm part of his fan group. Cool. And we do the worldwide fan weekend. And I mean, the Mexico fans, Dolphin fan group, huge fan group. We are worldwide. And I personally have streamed Dolphin games this will be my 14th season coming up. And people from the service, whether it was Korea or in Saudi Arabia, all over the fans. We are worldwide. Fans are amazing.
Yeah,
but our team needs to get back to us.
Yeah, that's the thing. And are you excited about them playing in Spain this upcoming season?
So I think that's cool. I think it's really cool. I kind of feel bad because I feel like they take that out of a home game, you know, for the home fans. I feel bad when you have season tickets. You know, there's mixed. I think it's cool that it's now becoming more worldwide for fans. I love hearing them cheer. They wear their Dolphins gear. I mean, I love seeing that, but there's drawbacks to it. But Spain is cool. I'd love to go to a game there.
Yeah, they'll be playing at the Real Madrid Stadium. It's one of the best stadiums in the world, and they have great LED screens. I think it's going to play in the fall, probably. I think October, I believe. It's going to be nice weather and everything. But, Mr. Jones, they didn't have international games back when you played.
No. The only international game they had was the military when I was stationed over Germany. That was as close to you're going to get over
Oh,
there. So
really?
yeah,
How was that?
interesting. Trying to get the German citizens there, to get used to the American style football. They were rough. They put it on you, but like the
Right.
technical stuff, they But as far as
Yes,
like
definitely.
hitting somebody, they blow you up. Yeah, it definitely hurt.
What do you think about the Olympics in 2028 flag football now that NFL players are allowed to play?
uh, I don't like it. The fact that you don't want like a Justin Jefferson or a Waddle or one of these guys to go there and get hurt. I understand the fact
It could
that
happen.
the basket.
But
Yeah, I understand. Like basketball, the basketball guys have been doing it for years. Baseball, has been doing it for years. But for some reason, just football, the likelihood of getting hurt is like,
and especially like you're saying, with these top players, if they go over there, the draw to get a gold medal or something from the Olympics has got to be huge. But also, if you're not one of those top guys, well, look who I just took out, right? So that would be somebody else's dream. Well, I just took out Waddle. I just took him out, and I mean, so I think, like you said, there's a lot of room for error there.
yeah, because I've been, coaching like the flag football for years, and it's a lot more physical, than people think, as far as trying, to get the flag, because like with the kids, we try to teach them to get in front of the guy and break down. You're going to have these NFL guys that are going to completely forget, which they might, that I can't run through this guy the way I want to. And they get hurt doing that, or somebody, like you said, make a name for himself. Or hey, I took out Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, or one of these guys. If I'm paying a guy $40 or $50 million a year, I don't know, man. I would have to think about that one. They could even send some of the lesser guys, not the lesser guys, but some of the other the top guys. I wouldn't send over there. I would send, some of the other ones, yes. The top guys, I don't think it'd be a good idea.
I mean, even Patrick Mahomes announced today that he will not be attending the 2020 Olympics. So that was the first player that came out that said no. Even though a year ago he was interested, he said he was really interested in joining it. But I heard that potentially for the new NFL contracts, there might be some teams that say you can't play in the Olympics. That could happen.
I would think that would be part of someone's contract, because you like Lloyd was just saying, you cannot just have your top player over there getting blown up. And that's what somebody else, no name from, I don't know, Iceland, is going to come over there and make a name for himself, right? I don't know if Iceland has a team. I'm just saying that,
Maybe.
but
But my nephew just sent me something interesting. He said, "How about they send the NCAA players, the D1 players, like some of them, or send like the practice squad guys? You can send, if you want to, if you still want these guys to be involved, you either send the D1 guys, or you can send practice squad guys, because it's enough.
Or UFL players.
Yeah,
there you go.
Or them too. But the guys that make the NFL money, I don't think that'd be a good idea.
I agree.
That's a whole lot. Let's switch back to Miami, Pam. Head coach Mike McDaniels. I heard he's in the hot seat. I heard he isn't. What have you been hearing?
Just like you. So some people say he's in the hot seat. Some people say he's not. The person that I think ought to be in the hot seat is Aloysius. And that's what that's what I like to call him, because Greer got to go. The one thing that's been in common for more than 10 years now, we've gotten rid of everybody and everything except for that man. And maybe McDaniel, I think he's a brilliant guy, right? I think he can draw up plays, but obviously he has issues with discipline.
Big time.
And the thing is if that's not your thing, then you better find somebody who can handle it for you. I don't care. Delegate. Get out there and find you the guy that's going to crack the whip for you and draw up the plays. Do whatever you got to do, but don't stand there and have clock management issues year after year. Don't stand there and not make changes at the half. We didn't see it coming. Well, year one, okay. Even I saw it coming sitting on my couch. Year two, dude, there's no excuse. Year three, your head's got to go. So I think he's on the hot seat as well. I don't know. I can go back and forth on that. I can argue my own argument.
What do you think, Byron? You think McDaniels looks like he's in the hot seat?
Yes, because they paid Tua. It always goes back to the quarterback. They paid him a ton of money. He's might be hurt. He might not be hurt. In and out. They still do have the weapons. But my question for the Miami Dolphin fans: didn't you guys have Vic Fangio, one of the defensive coordinator down there a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Philadelphia. You see what he does up with Philly, as far as winning a championship. Was it okay? We were talking about them being like a little bit more disciplined. Was Vic Fangio that kind of guy where he's a disciplinarian? And I guess people just he probably rubbed people the wrong way or whatever, because that could have been the guy if they kept him, could have fixed a lot of this stuff just by the way he is.
1,000%. And of course, he wasn't supported with that mindset because the head coach doesn't have that mindset. But the thing is Fangio, he's like you were saying, he's old school, right? He's highly disciplined, but it worked in Philly and it didn't work in Miami because you can come to practice if you want to, or you don't have to. Oh, you don't want to wear pads? Okay. Oh, you need your mommy on the side in a blanket and a snow cone? Okay. No, this is football, man, and you're making a lot of money. Come on. It's ridiculous.
So basically he wanted out. That's how you end up in Philadelphia. So
that's right. Yep.
Quite something with Miami Dolphins. I think, like you were saying, Pam, he lacks that discipline. I talked to this guy in my office building and said the same thing. He's a good player, play designer.
Yes,
but he's not a good head coach or a good discipline guy. I think he was joking around like he was DJing during training camp sometimes. So
right.
He wasn't head coach doing DJing.
No.
I see Bill Belichick doing that.
Don Shula would have never done that.
Never. And the thing is like you look at him, and when we're doing well, he's all in it, and it's over there. It's party time. It's high five. It's this and that. But when it gets tough, he looks confused. He looks checked out. And for me, just as a competitor, I taught dance my whole life. So I taught students. We won dance competitions all over the country. I judged dance competitions. So I have a competitive bone. At no time when stuff gets tough, am I going to go, oh, I know. No, I'm going to be like, okay, let's go. And that's what I expect from a head coach. I don't expect him to check out. He looks confused and upset. I want you to go and get gritty and go out there and, get tougher. I just can't stand it.
Yeah.
What he needs to do is don't wear those pants that he wore, the ones that was like the high water pants, whatever he had on at the time. And then he was out there, he was vaping on the sideline. So yeah, he needed to
He was vaping?
Yeah, they got a picture. He was vaping. Yeah, he was doing something on the sideline.
If he wants to wear capris, I'm all behind it. Wear your capris. But be tough, man. Maybe a man can't be tough wearing capris. I don't know.
Don Shula would have never done that. He would have never came out there with capris on. Oh my God.
Shula would be like, "What's a capri? Come on."
What is that?
It's a picture of him vaping.
Yeah, there you go.
Ow.
Or it's questionable, but interesting. I'd rather be the coach that dates a 24-year-old than the McDaniel kid. Oh man, crazy stuff in Dolphin world, but we'll see what happens. Mr. Byron, There is confirmation from the head coach Brian Dabble that the Giants are working on joint practices. That means they have practices with another team. Usually is the same team they go against the week of. Your thoughts about that, Byron? Because I believe they did that before.
Yeah, they've done like what the Patriots. I think that up here what I saw it might be the Jets because they do play the Jets like the last preseason game. Up here, for bragging rights in New York, whatever they want to call it.
Aaron Glenn first.
Yeah, they want to sit there, and because they got Aaron Glenn there, and maybe they might do it or whatever. Because they also used to have joint practice with Detroit when Aaron Glenn was with Detroit. So maybe he might be more inclined to do have this with them. And also you also want to hit somebody else. You're tired of, you went through train 5-6 weeks and now you want to hit somebody else since they don't have as many preseason games they had used to. But yeah, that you should be able to tell pretty much how they're going to be after that.
What does that really do? Does that really help out, or does it? I mean, does it give away things, or just very minor?
No, well, since they really don't play each other, all the time, during the season, that you pretty much put out whatever you want to put out there because they're not going to see it again. The stuff that you use, you're not going to put it all out there for the whole world to see. But like I said, it's always better that you want to hit somebody else. Already beat up on each other for 5-6 weeks or whatever it is, and now you get ready to beat up on somebody wearing a different jersey, getting a couple fights, and all kind of all the fun stuff during camp.
So Byron, let me ask you a question. So, as Giants fan, who's your most hated team in your division?
Ooh, the Eagles.
Oh, is it? Okay. I would have said Cowgirls, but okay.
Because I live around here, close to the Philadelphia area, and man, these people around here, boy, they are brutal. Especially when they find out, that I'm a Giant fan. Oh, they be on my back like you can't imagine.
I hear that's one of the hardest places to go to a game, right? At the Eagles, like you better guard yourself. I'd never make it out. I would die because they'd kill me.
I told somebody when the first time the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, I forgot who went. Whenever the first time they went, and they had like a pep rally over at the Giant over here. It was like 5,000 people out there. And I sit there, I told a person, I was like, "Yo, don't go over there with the New England Patriot sweat." That's what they had on. And I'm sitting there, I was like, "That's not a good idea." I said, "There's 5,000 Eagle fans in the parking lot, and if you go over there with that New England Patriot thing, you're gonna have a problem." Now, and also when I was working one time, one of our guys, he was a Minnesota, he was a Viking fan. I don't know why. And he went in the bathroom with the Minnesota Viking jersey on. They beat him up and left him on the floor in there. And we didn't figure out, where this guy was, man, until like the third quarter. Go in the bathroom, he's laid out, sprawled out on the ground, because he got beat up because he had a Minnesota Viking jersey on, at the stadium when we told him not to do it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I understand, and I've heard about Eagles fans forever. If you go in there, but I think that's crap. I think people should be able to go in there, and I'm not talking about being obnoxious. I'm a Dolphin fan. I sit in Dolphin Stadium, and all the fans, we are overtaken by Jesters fans. I have my own names for everybody: Cheatriots, Barfalo, and Jesters. So we're overtaken by those teams all the time. You are a minority in our own stadium. So I'm used to, obnoxious fans. So I'm not talking about being obnoxious. I'm just talking about rooting your team on. You should be able to be safe. You should be able to take your kids. You shouldn't have that problem. But,
Not it. No, they have a lot of good fans, that do go to those games that don't cause any problems, But
of course.
You have those few that it's bad when they put a courthouse and a jail in a building. That's bad when they do
in the stadium.
In the stadium. So it is go there, enjoy the game, but all the other extra stuff, that's not good.
So have y'all seen this? There's a show called Stadium Lockup. And Stadium Lockup takes place in Cleveland at the Browns Stadium. And the show's it's funny. It's I mean, the things that people do, the things, you see it all. And they have a very sophisticated system in that stadium. They stay on top of everybody that walks in there. They're paying attention. And, when fans are being obnoxious, whether it's their own fans or other teams' fans, they're all over it. I have to say they do a good job. But I don't think the Dolphins do a good job. I mean, and obviously somebody like Philly, I don't think they do a good job. I hear a lot of horror stories in there, but stadiums should do a better job. And I think Cleveland, of course, I don't think they have that much else going on. They don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, I know. It's a very dull, sad organization. Now 4 quarterbacks. What do you think about that?
Oh man. I'm super glad we didn't end up with their quarterbacks.
We could have got Shador. We could have.
I did not want him. I think his daddy's going to bring drama to town.
I think that's why.
I just didn't want it. Speaking of quarterbacks, though, I did think that our pickup of Ewers was very interesting.
Yes. I mean, I thought he was a good quarterback at Texas, right, Byron?
Yeah, but he should have stayed in school. He probably he would have got more money with NIL money than what he's
$8 million.
As a 7th round pick. He was late, 6th, 7th round.
Yeah,
He
with nice
was.
game
Yeah,
playing pick
7.
4, I think. I believe he's gonna get a pick 4.
Yeah, he lost a lot of money not transferring.
Yep.
So what do you think about that quarterback, Pam? You think he could sneak in that QB2, QB1 position, or?
For the first time, I feel like the Dolphins, because I look at Tua and I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. Whenever
You're not a fan of Tua, I can tell.
I like Tua, and I think there's talent there, but I think when it comes down to it, he doesn't get the job done. And I mean,
yeah, I see that.
History bears that out. But I do like looking at our 2. I hope we keep them both because I think we're going to need them. And I think it's really interesting for the first time in I don't know how long. When we signed Tua to his extension last year, to not go after a really good QB2 was malpractice. It was terrible.
100%. That, I mean, we got exposed. The Dolphins
got exposed.
Well, no QB2. We lost a couple games. I think we had Skylar Thomas.
Yes, Thompson. Yep.
Thompson last season. So, in which he's not the greatest, but this is a better quarterback room, which I forgot about Brett Gabbard. But
so
Byron,
Santiago, what do you think happened with him? Because I honestly feel like 2 years prior, the kid Skylar held his own. Going into we were in playoff games, and we didn't lose because of Skylar.
No. I don't know. Maybe like the whole confidence thing, maybe behind the scenes. I have no idea. Like maybe he wasn't, built for another season. Who knows?
Yeah.
Mr. Jones, what do you think about Quinn stealing that QB2, possibly QB1?
Yeah, it's possible. We have my favorite quarterback of all time there, Zach Wilson. Who I sit there and said was going to be Rookie of the Year, and I'm glad Vickery, listened to this because I'm sure I would have got blown up with that one. But the room looks a lot better, than what they had the last couple of years with Ewers and Gabbard and Zach Wilson.
I agree.
Well,
Thankfully.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Miami. I think they're in a better lineup. Obviously, tight end that's up in limbo. Byron Jones, Jackson Dart, looking good in OTAs. What have you heard?
Everybody looks good in shorts and t-shirt, pretty much. So yeah. So
there's not much trying.
Nah.
Byron, do you not like him? Do you not like Jackson Dart? You don't see.
He has potential. I'm gonna leave it at that. But
he's not in love with it.
Yeah, no. A lot of plays that are running are from the 10-yard line in. That's what it is. So a lot of it is check down, and they're throwing to the tight ends a lot. So they'll
Sure.
open up, as they go, a little bit more in OTA as far as using the whole field. But right now, he's hitting, the tight end and the running back, which is a lot better than the other quarterbacks that we had. Jameis, they said, threw an interception the first time he threw the ball. So he was being James. There you go, my man. Throw the ball to the other team. And,
He was trying to get free crab legs.
probably. So
She knows the story.
Yeah, James Winston. He's gonna be a good guy on TV once he gets out. Stop playing.
Well, I think Jackson Dart, that is really somebody I wanted the Dolphins to pick up. I think you guys got something there. And if Daboll is going to be a good coach, and because that kid has a lot of raw talent, and when you think about who he played under, because Lord knows, I mean, I cannot stand that guy. His daddy was the man, right? What's his name?
Manning?
No. The coach for the SIP for Mississippi.
Oh, Mike Leach? No.
It was
Oh, yeah.
I can't stand him. He's just such a
He
little.
He was at USC and a bunch of other places.
Yes,
but
his dad was the man. He was the coach, the defensive coordinator for Tampa. When they won the Super Bowl and all that. So he's got heritage, but I can't stand that little coach for the SIP. I don't know if y'all saw the T-shirts they had. The one game, I was that when they played Florida, because they brought out, it said the SIP, like as in short for Mississippi. Lane Kiffin.
Kiffin.
I was going to say Lane.
Monty Kiffin was his dad. Great coach. Yep. Lane Kiffin, oh my Lord. If I could use his head as a punching bag, I would have no anger issues at all. But I think Jackson Dart, I think you guys got a gem. And I think he's going to show up more than you might think.
But I don't want him to play the whole year. I want them to ride with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, and let him not toward the end of the year. Don't play at all. Maybe get in like 2 or 3 games toward the end of the season. Even no matter what the record is. Yeah, in December. No matter how bad the record may be or good or whatever, don't let him play the whole year. Let him sit back.
Let him learn. Learn, develop.
Yep.
You're probably right with that. Yeah, you're probably right with that. But I think he's a gem, and I think the kid has so much raw talent. I'm a little jelly that you guys got him.
Yeah, the Giants got a good pick. I know that Hable wanted him badly. It was his style versus Jones. So, all right, we're going towards the end of the show. Real quick, I heard Jalen Ramsey might be lead the Dolphins. Pam, you like that?
I think it's as good as done. I don't necessarily like it, but if he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't need to be there because, a disgruntled player is not going to be a good player. So I think Jalen is good, but I don't think he just didn't show up as much as I kind of thought he would. But so bye, Jalen.
He was injured last year, I think, right?
Yes.
For most of the season.
Yep. Yeah. We didn't get him until halfway through the season.
Right, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was on injured reserve. Yeah.
Jones, Jalen Ramsey leaving. Good for the Dolphins.
Maybe he'll go back to the Rams. Go reunite, with McVay back out there. But he was a dominant, corner, shutdown corner for years. Can't say he wasn't, but he was. And he's gotten older, and the injuries and stuff. And, maybe a little change of scenery, work for him.
You think he still has it? That he could still bring it?
Well, you figure if I don't know how was he 30? He's got to be at least 30 years old. And now he's just going to get by, with experience.
Yeah, he's 30.
Watching film, and he's going to do his thing that way. Physically, the talent that he had when he's in his 20s is not the same. But now he's 30 years old. But now he's going to get by, just with experience and play another 3, 4, at least another 2 or 3 years at a high level.
Yeah, he might go to the Rams. There's rumors.
Ah,
Not
there
the
you
best
go.
spot. Rams haven't closed the door, so we'll see what happens. Matt Stafford's last year, good year, I guess, going on there. Want to spend some pay tribute to Colts owner Jim Irsay, who died last week, 65 years old. Came out of nowhere. Mr. Byron, what are your thoughts over this story?
He was kind of like a little eccentric, not in a bad way, kind of owner. And he seemed like the kind of guy that you would want to play for him. That he would, that he did take care, of his players. And my condolences, go out to his family, because it was that one was just like out of left field. That was like never heard anything.
Right. And I got to tell you, 65 is young. I'm 65. I think that's way young. I looked at that age. I was like, ooh. That's baby time.
Yeah.
But, condolences to his family.
Yeah, quite something. And of course, we'll see what the Colts. I think probably one of his family members probably going to take over. I've not heard who's going to take over yet, but probably one of his relatives. We didn't have time today, Jones, for your depth chart, but it is on the Sportscast website. Have a little brief summary of what you wrote and what you listed over this chart.
That's a lot. Ooh, hey, man, 90 players or whatever the number. Yeah, it was a lot.
That is a lot.
It was a lot of two fingers typing. I'm the king of two fingers.
I talk to text. Everything, I press the little microphone and I just talk and it comes out. It's not great, but it comes out.
I just got a real phone a few years ago. I had a flip phone. Matter of fact, where is it? I had a flip phone for years.
A rotary phone.
Yep. Well, got rid
the
of
rotary it. Now, there's some.
Good for camping.
Here you go. There you go.
Right, still there.
Nice.
Still works.
There you go. Still works too.
I'd respect though doing depth chart on 90 players. Wow, that's a lot.
That means you're excited, Byron, for the season. Only 98 days left, if there's anyone else counting there. But wow, it's a slow time for the NFL. A lot going on in the NBA. But Pam, what is the best way to reach you, so people can talk to you about the Dolphins?
So I'm on Facebook, Pamela Dolfan. You can message me there. If you want contact, BR549. That is most of y'all are too young to know that. Byron might know what I'm talking about. BR549. That was, remember back in the day, the phone numbers had letters and a few numbers that there wasn't much. Yeah. Anyways.
That's quite interesting. How many wins will the Dolphins get this season?
Oh, gosh. 12.
Oh, that's a lot.
I'm being optimistic, Dolphin fan. My aqua and orange glasses. 12.
Yeah, the schedule's not that bad, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And of course, Byron does not have social media anymore. Only on Facebook, they can still look you up, right?
That's it. Nothing else.
You're posting a lot of your old photos. I saw recently of your football days.
Yeah. Some of the ones I scraped up and I found. I was like, man, look at this. When we played Oklahoma, and I think I found one when we played Oklahoma State. I'll put that out later. But yeah,
that's awesome.
And when we played Oklahoma State, guess who was the running back? Thurman Thomas. Well, he's a freshman.
Oh my gosh!
Yep.
Wow.
Not too way back. What do you think about the expansion to 16 playoff places in the college football playoff system? 16 teams. What do you think about that?
It's too much.
It's too much.
It's
too many blowouts.
Yeah, there's just I don't know how else you do it though, because when you leave it up to the people that know they know what they're talking about and they vote in these teams, they don't know what they're talking about. Too many people are betting or going off of where they live and their heart. They're not looking at stuff. So
yeah, emotion, and I think it's automatic seeding. So
with the
with the poll. I don't know. I have to read into it, and then of course March Madness wants to expand from 64 to more. I think 80.
speaking of March Madness, go Gators.
Go Gators! Congrats!
National
What a
champ.
run!
Yeah, baby.
What a
That
run!
was. I mean, they were the cardiac kids because every the first half of the game they're like, and then
Yeah, good impressive win. But yeah, we'll see. Florida's doing well in basketball. We'll see how they do in football.
We'll see.
You never know with these things with NIL. But anyways, you can reach us at thesportscast.net, our website, or the Sportscast1 on X and Instagram. We'll be live tweeting throughout the weekend. A lot going on with the NBA. We've got the Champions League coming on this weekend. So a lot going on still. And then the NFL is starting to die off, but we're waiting on the Aaron Rodgers decision. I think it's going to happen before somewhere in early June. Kirk Cousins still in play, so we'll see what happens there. So big names are still out there. They're old names, but they'll keep us talking, heads talking. Anyways, before we go, any closing words, Pam, before we go?
I want to ask Byron, what do you think about Rodgers?
Oof.
Would you pick him?
No, just for the fact that he keeps dragging him along, and you got a lot of things that you need to get done, and he's not going to have like be in sync, with the receivers because he's just here I am just come roll, and I think it's just too much drama. I would go get Kirk Cousins and be done with it.
I agree with you. He always wears green. Green, gangrene is a disease. Just got to tell you.
Kirk or Aaron, Pam? Who would you get?
Say that again.
Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, Cousins. Yep. Yeah. I wouldn't take Rodgers. Nope.
He's a lot of money.
I'm with Byron.
Well, anyway, guys, thanks for coming on. Byron, when's our show? Every Thursday at what time?
8 o'clock.
8 p.m. Eastern. Can't miss it. Vic will be back. I think he'll be in Virginia, but he'll still be doing the show. And we'll have another guest host next week. Pam, you were great. We'll definitely have you back.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed it so much. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, this was the Jersey Boy Sports Talk. Peace.